acetone on the microphone. He spits real quick. Yeah, then he likes to sip on that chick. Ooh, yeah, he likes that lip.
Ooh.
The upper lip.
Oh
The
my
upper lip.
God.
Live from the Tribe Podcast, episode 6, correct?
Yes. Damn, it's episode 6 already?
Episode 6, bro. We're only like 3 months in this bitch, and this episode.
This is a holiday episode. It had to be special. We got to bring Tony out here.
Oh, special
Thank
guest,
you guys,
the
thank
God.
you guys for having me. I don't know about all that. So are we going live or what?
We're
Yeah,
going
hit
live.
hit the live.
Dude, hit the button. Hit the button. Don't fuck it up, though. Hit the button. Don't lean on me, though. Hit the
He's
button.
going to knock it down. Oh.
Oh,
Now
We're
it's
in there.
official.
Now
it's
we're
official.
live. Now it's official. We're live. Episode
Oof.
6, man. We're still here. You know, end of the year. You know, Christmas time. You know, the New Year's just coming up. What's up with you guys, man? What's been going on here? What?
Been trying to stay indoors, bro. This cold wind is not cool. I don't like these drivers, bro. Like, they don't know. Like, first of all, use your signals, please. Second of all, don't hit the brake in front of me.
You know, it's almost like they forget, like they lose one part of their mind because they're trying to drive and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they just forget to do all the other stuff, which is signaling, you know?
While blasting some whack-ass music, probably.
So, yeah, I mean, what have you guys been up to? What have you been just dealing with this cold right now, or what? Just staying indoors?
Yeah, just working and staying indoors. Trying to go out, like not go outside at all. But there's always stuff to get. And luckily, I got my Christmas shopping done a while ago. Got you something today, by the way.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna get it later. The gift. Relax.
That was like,
The
okay.
gift.
Because I can get it whenever
Pause,
you
you
want.
know?
I was like, pause, okay.
And we have a very special guest today.
Special
Tony.
guest, the God?
Even he came out here with some gifts. So
Ooh,
shout out
that's
Lifeline
awesome.
for the
Shout out Lifeline. Shout out Tony for getting us the gifts, man. Bro. How,
Yes,
did, how do you know I'm a caffeine addict, bro? How did you know?
I mean, I can just tell, bro. He's just looking at you, you know?
Fuck. Damn it.
You never sit the fuck still, bro.
Nah, I mean, last time you guys, hooked it up with some beverages, I didn't know what you wanted. So I was, you know what, man, let me at least get them some. Because I did come with the coffee. I didn't try to be
No, I appreciate you,
disrespectful.
bro. Hell
But,
yeah. I appreciate
you know, at the end of the day, like I was telling him earlier, is, you know, you guys are doing this stuff, you know, out of your time. You know, this is stuff you guys want to do. And you are putting different businesses out there. So it's like, hey, man, you're doing a lot for the community. And I'm pretty sure you're going to do a lot more. So I was like, hey, man,
That's the plan for sure.
I can at least do something for them.
Oh, yeah,
you
we
know?
appreciate you, bro. Hell yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you
But-
guys. You're welcome.
We know we had you a while back with us, but I mean, like, so what do you think? Like, what do you, what do you think about the whole setup now? Like, we were doing, like, what do you think? How do you see this podcast? Like, have you listened to it? Obviously, you're like one of our biggest fans and shit. You have my picture on your wall, and you know.
I mean, it just depends on which wall, though. You know, like the bathroom at the shop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
But
Damn, that's true.
It's a wall, bro.
It's a wall. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, either way, you know, like to me, different people bring different things to the table. You know, you can have something very, very good, but it's just like, let's say a rock star or a rock band. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, when they come together, it's badass. But you know, some guys may not agree with what the drummer's doing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so it's like, hey, man, we need him or whatever. But it's like, you know, when they're together, it sounds good, and it's unfortunate sometimes that you need to move on. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has different plans. I'm not trying to make it sound like somebody's over there fucking crazy jumping off the walls and shit. It's just more of like, hey, man, we're all in different places in our lives. And if you guys are dedicated to doing this, and then you start seeing where people have different level commitments, which is fine, bro. You know what I mean? We can sit there and be upset at people, and, you know, just even if it's at work, bro, you could be upset about somebody or whatever, but maybe they're not pulling their weight. But at the end of the day, it's like, dude, like, you know, you need to just move on because this life is going to be full of that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of people, I mean, I don't think we've spoken about, like, the last podcast, obviously we had it, you know, but there's no animosity at all. I mean, X just out here doing beats, you know, he's focusing full 100% on his whole dream has been, you know, so me and Charlie kept doing what we're doing here, you know, and we're still kind of pushing to keeping the vision going, whatever, but, you know, shout out X, man, he's out here. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen him putting beats out and shit, man. You seen that shit?
Yeah, you know, man, I like when I'm very picky with my music, man. So like when I hear stuff, you know, I'm not one of those guys. I do try to, like, you know, support anybody, but, you know, when I hear his stuff, I'm like, oh man, that's dirty, bro.
It's
good,
hard.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and mainly because I can hear like the good artists, like I can hear you know, whatever, a really good artist on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not just, because I've heard a lot of music, man, over the years. And, when we were kids, obviously we started, our little groups back then. We were 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
I was always into music, mariachi group when I was young, choir, band. I mean, so you do have a tune of music, you're somewhat a little more, not necessarily fine-tuned, but you have an ear for it. So it doesn't matter what the genre is, man. Like, especially for me, like hip-hop is really, really hard to do properly. But for me, I'm very picky with it. Yeah. So when I hear something like, oh crap, what is that? Hold on, let me Shazam that shit. You know what I'm saying? Shows my age. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me Shazam it real quick. Like I still got it, bro. Like
is that still around?
I mean, I use it, bro, all the time.
Okay.
Nice, but I mean, I do, and then it comes up, and like there's only 300 Shazam, so I feel kind of proud that I got that ear to like, oh crap, a lot of people haven't heard of this stuff, whatever it is. But my son could be listening to something, and I'm just like, ugh. And then all of a sudden, like one, yeah, nah, he doesn't do takis.
The fuck? What was that?
Reggaeton, fool.
Orale, okay.
Nah.
That's what it sounds like.
I don't hate.
That's how it sounds like to me, man.
I was gonna say I don't hate on that shit though. I mean, like you fuck with like Bad Bunny and all that shit or not?
I give everything a chance, bro, and like sometimes at the shop, obviously, like I don't even listen to music anymore, man, just because podcast, whatever, just because like there's only so many notes, in the musical alphabet per se, and like you can only use them so many different ways. So when you just hear the same thing, it's really tough to listen to. So I get it when you hear of somebody different. Like Bad Bunny's obviously very different. So when I heard about him, like when he was like featuring on people's stuff, or he was like the second place, like I'm like, what the fuck? like I felt I was losing IQ listening to this. You know what I mean? And so and then you see it come around, and you're like, what the heck happened? So then I'm like, okay, let me go back 3 albums, because he's already this far forward, and it's mainly, to me, it's mainly the sound, that what they're doing with the sounds, not necessarily the lyrics, because. Come on, bro. Anybody can say "te mama el culo." You just may not say it in public.
I'll put you on a song that I think you'll like, and he doesn't talk about that. It's called 4-7.
Well, and I do listen. Like I'll just play it at the shop, and I'll take note of the stuff I like. And there's some sounds like, okay, that sounds good. And then like I'll be blasting it at the shop. I mean, not necessarily like, oh hell yeah, but I'm like, okay, I can listen to this. This is, but I listen to. Then you're starting to listen to a bass, to the bass, you're listening to all the little things, because like your brother who makes music, or you guys do too, like you start to pay attention to the little cymbals, to the little kicks, to the little snares, and then like you either hear it super generic, or you hear like, oh crap, again, that ear. So there are some things that I appreciate in his music, but I also understand the commercializing of it too. Obviously it's a business, so I'm bumping at the shop, then my wife walks in and she looks at me like, the fuck you listening to? You know what I mean? So
she's like, where's DMX? What the fuck are you listening to, boy?
But so again, like there is songs that I do like, interesting. Like, all right, cool. I get it. Yeah. But man, dude, like, there's some that you're just like, come on.
I think it's the worst too. Like for me too, like as long I have to have music like when I'm walking my dogs or some shit, doing anything. But I can play shit on shuffle, and like as long as like I won't even be listening to it, but I'll still be like I have it in the background. I'm not listening, but I'm fucking with it, But even when you're not paying attention and you hear something, you kind of be doing something, and you be like, wait, what the fuck am I listening to? And then like, man, fucking skip, like fuck this shit, But
what I do is, sorry to interrupt, but something like I just need sometimes that background noise. So again, like I'll listen to there's a lot of like house trance type music, techno stuff, and there's like the old stuff too from like the 90s that obviously whatever your Tiestos, Oakenfold, whatever, but then there's like on YouTube there's live stations, and like they just play 24/7. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'll throw that on, bro. And I just keep it quiet in the background, just so the shop isn't that quiet. I just listen to it, bro. Like there's no words. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. But again, it just goes back to like obviously like I love my Ramon Ayala. Yeah. But bro, like I've been listening to it since I was, obviously we've all been listening to it since we were a kid. So you hear tragos de amargo licor. It's the shit. Yeah. But then you're like, damn dog, it's played out. It hits right, maybe with a couple. You know what I'm saying? Little.
That's whatever. Like at the end. That's like at 2 a.m. at the end of the party.
Crying, fool.
Yeah.
Why do people say that? Like, oh, I can't listen to this type of music or
No,
songs.
you're right.
I have to drink. Like it's dumb to me, but then I understand when I'm drinking. Like it's the mood.
It's like our version of soul, right?
Mhm.
But I don't drink. I don't listen to any music when I drink, which is not often, bro. It's when I'm around good people that I enjoy. And I'm
I
having
thought
a
you were
good
gonna
time.
say you don't listen to nothing when you drink. I was like,
I'm
oh,
all just quiet.
sit on
Just
the
focused.
Cricket,
like
cricket. Hey, wait. I need to drink this. No,
Okay.
I mean, but the played out stuff, like, again, it's funny because like all this music that was popular 2 years ago,
Mhm.
like my dumbass is like, well, let me give that Grupo Firme a try, and I look at something that came out 2 years ago, and that's what I've been doing. Like when it hits, I'm like, what the fuck?
It don't really catch you right then.
And then I look back, maybe because as we're going along, it's getting worse. So I go back 2 years ago, and it's okay.
Right, bro.
Yeah, we're in some weird times now. Like,
It
I
usually
think
goes like that though.
I like shit from back in the day. Then
Mhm.
like they kind of, like you're saying, they kind of adapt to like what's popular now. Like, okay, this is what sells, and so they kind of change their voice or music, whatever. And
Well, I mean, there was a time, and we can think. Let's say, I really blame it on, I was born in '86, so I'm maybe 4 or 5 years older than you guys.
Mhm.
So we did grow up as '90s kids,
Mhm.
And I think anything before internet, because you didn't really know what other cities or people were doing. If you were in a smaller city, you weren't listening to what was popping in California and Los Angeles or New York, because they're the meccas,
Yeah.
So by the time you get it, maybe it's a few months old, or you have a family member that came to visit for the summer and they brought their freaking CDs
They
or
put
their
you
tapes,
on, yeah.
and you're like, oh shit, dude, or even a style of clothing.
Mhm.
And I think that always was always evolving, since the beginning of time, really. I mean, we can go back to like, okay, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then boom, internet hits.
Yeah.
So we're all up to speed at the same time.
Yeah, and that's crazy you say that, because I remember like back in the '90s when we used to go to Mexico through Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Vegas has fucking sick ass radio stations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So as soon as you hopped over to Vegas and you start hearing like, what the fuck is this? It'd be like some artist you never heard of and shit. And then like months later you hear it like here and like, oh
Right.
shit,
I mean, like especially like Los Angeles, man. I mean, you did hear like they'd have station. I don't know if they still do, but like they're cussing on the
Mhm.
stations.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, you're like, what? They
Mhm.
said,
Yeah.
So it was a trip, like I had one of my brothers when I was in Phoenix. He's like, hey man, like what are they playing? What kind of music's over there? And I'm like, bro, like we have LimeWire now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Fucking like we don't-
Winamx.
Yeah, because we're so used to like, hey, dude, what are they playing in the big cities?
Mhm.
And now like we're all up to speed immediately.
Yeah.
But I think
YouTube, TikTok, everything just hits
but
viral.
it
and
also
shit.
it's also like a pro and a con, because now I think we're not being so creative,
Mhm.
because you're just being fed all this stuff. So it's like you can never be creative. It's almost like now we're I saw this on TikTok, let me do it,
Yeah.
or I saw this on this. So, and then a lot of stuff, if you notice, all your fashion, everything's going backwards. They're not coming up with new things. So pretty much
That's
since
crazy.
the 90s,
Yeah.
it hasn't really progressed. Like we were
Mhm.
just stuck and we're biting stuff from other generations. I think because we're not creative enough to
the
to
kids
come
the
up
kids now they're going back to the style we had back in the day. Straight
Yeah.
up. I see that all the time. Like, what the fuck? You see girls with their little fucking baggy, like, what do you call them, those die cast jeans or whatever and
Mhm.
shit.
And I mean, being a father, bro, like, I mean, I see clothes of boys and girls. Obviously, girls, you think like, damn, bro, like if right now this is the little thing they're wearing, what are they gonna wear, 10 years from now, bro,
Yeah.
But then like when I saw the baggy ones come back, like in the
Mhm.
90s, I thought
Yeah.
that was dope, bro. Like when the girls used to wear, what I'm saying, the overalls,
Mhm.
one off,
Yeah,
one
straight,
on,
that's
you know what
the
I'm saying?
style
Like
now.
I thought that was dope, bro,
Yeah.
and it was never too tight, you know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, like we all maybe we like to see whatever we want to see, but I mean, as a father, you're like, hey man,
I'm glad
that's
you're
acceptable.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you're wearing that shit. Some kid shit. You know?
I'm glad you're wearing the Wonder Years jeans. You know what
There
I'm
you
saying?
go, the one you use.
Shout out the Wonder Years, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, that's how it is, man. It's crazy that you say that. Like now that you said that, it kind of like, damn, like it's true. Like you don't really see new shit. It's shit that's going back, like throwbacks now. Like people are going back to like where we.
I mean,
our
just right
generation.
now, like looking at these Jordans, bro. I mean, like the Air Force Ones, the Jordans are all. I mean, they may have newer styles, but the Air Force Ones have been the same Air Force Ones since the 90s,
yeah.
or 80s, whenever they came out.
Yeah, and then the retros. I mean, Jordan retros. They just changed the color because they just there's no reason to change them, I guess. But I mean,
Yeah.
which
Which is fine because it's a cool shoe. It's
Mhm.
cool things that we do appreciate.
Mhm.
But I just feel like, where's our creativity? You
Yeah,
know,
no.
where's our people who are coming up with new things? I think it may not be their fault, but even in music, like you start to hear these mashups, you start to
Yeah.
hear voiceovers or covers, you know, which are cool, right, to do. But like the ones that I really like right now is like you'll hear, you know, Tupac on a freaking track somebody made today,
Oh yeah.
and you're like, damn, dog.
hard,
You know what
huh?
I'm saying? Like, it's hard, but there we go again with our creativity. Is like, you guys, where are you at? But if society isn't teaching us, you know, to be creative, it's teaching us to just follow something, man. And again, like I think that's like nothing seems genuine anymore. Why? Because we may have been inspired by something we saw. So, like, you know, oh, I came up with this. Well, no, you didn't, fool. It's on TikTok. You know, like
Yeah.
I saw that on TikTok, and I think we're kind of doing it to ourselves. You know.
If you think about it, like it's pretty tough to think of some new shit, right?
Touch it, yeah.
But that's why I
Even,
think
like-
you got. Sorry, man.
That could.
I'm gonna cut you off though, but I'm
Oh.
not sorry. But that's why like you got to give it to the past because they
Yeah.
were creative. Fool.
Mhm.
They were coming up with new shit. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. Like even cars, like now, like they're just going, like they're kind of copying each other, or they're just going back to like retro because they just can't
Yeah.
keep up with new shit.
Mhm.
You know, besides the electric cars, even that they fucking look the same. You know, they're just, you know, an electric car, just like looking at it, like, okay, that's an electric car.
Yeah, seen
But I
they,
mean,
they
I like,
brought the
like-
Bronco back. You seen that?
Yeah, bringing the
Yeah.
Bronco back. You know, all like they're bringing up like all the fucking brand new Charger, or whatever, and it's like fucking 1965. You know, body built and shit. You know, it's like. It's crazy. They say that. I'm like, damn, it's true. Like almost everything nowadays is just like we're going back to.
I mean, I remember like my dad. He was a Chevy guy, you know, so Chevy pickups, you know, and I remember it was like every 2-3 years it would change a body style, and now it's like this body style lasts a decade, bro. You know what I mean? Like, damn, fool. I mean, I understand the business, the cost, all that stuff behind it, but it's like I feel, why can't we experiment with more? You know what I mean? Why not? You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about money, right?
Mhm.
Like, you know, if you have these big machines that print out the bodies of each vehicle, or let's say the body panels of a Challenger, well, why would they get rid of that design, that whole factory? You know what I'm saying? They can just change interior, little things that don't cost that much to them on a big scale, and you sell it to consumer because they're also being kind of coached into buying that shit anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Damn. Well, actually, talking about cars, since we have a car guy here, I actually have been wanting to talk to someone about this because I mean, I'm not a huge, like, I don't know much about cars, but I like, you know, I like the whole, you know, the vibes or whatever. But so, what do you think about like the electric? Did you see like the electric Charger coming out?
Yeah, I
the
mean,
Banshee, whatever thing's called.
yeah, I mean, it has the sounds and all that
Mhm.
stuff.
So,
I mean,
what do you think about all that shit? Like, do you kind of like, do you make fun of them because they're trying to do something with it, or do you
I
give
don't.
them, like, okay, they're
I
trying
don't
to-
make fun of them.
Yeah.
Because at the racetrack, I mean, these guys, you know, you have a Tesla doing 9-10 second passes, bro.
killing fucking everything.
So for us to get a gas vehicle or, you know, whatever vehicle,
Mhm.
an internal combustion engine to go that fast, like, bro, it takes a lot of work. So,
Mhm.
you know, you may see a car go down the track and be like, damn, that fool pulled a whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, okay, a buddy of mine has an Audi RS3, you know, shout out to Sonic, you know, if he's watching. Anyway, and that thing, it's a 5-cylinder. I mean, it's on, there's things you do, right? It's programmed, tuned, whatever. And I mean, the thing with, let's say it's a $45,000 vehicle, and you probably put about, at that time, it'll probably run a 12.5 second quarter mile. So you're talking, I don't know, maybe 110 mile an hour. And then these guys put about $12,000 into it, right? So again, you could think horsepower is like 100 horses, or $100 is like a horsepower, $1,000 is like a horsepower, something like that, right?
Mhm.
So this guy gets down to a 9.9 seconds with like 12-13 grand.
Damn.
Okay, so this guy is around 50 some thousand. Well, there's cars right now, bro. Like, yeah, like a GTR, like you can spend $85,000, but it's not gonna be doing a 99 second quarter mile. Like, so it's like crap. Like, it's mind blowing. Like, I want to go this fast for this amount of money, right? Like, at the end of the day, you're a baller on a budget. You know what I mean? You're trying to equate that speed. So when I see a guy going that fast, it's like, damn, like you already know all the stuff he's had to do, modify or whatever to get there. So it's respectable as anybody who's going that quick. So I say that to say this. It's like, we do all this stuff to get there. And then you see an electric car, a guy that's just wearing blue jeans.
I was gonna say some sandals and
some
shit.
fucking New Balances. You know what I'm saying? And he's fucking doing the same. But
knows nothing about cars and shit. He just pulls up
he
in
just
a
goes
Tesla.
into like race mode or whatever they put it in. They don't even make a sound, bro. You know what I'm saying? Which is impressive, but at the same time, because people want to say, "Hey, this electric car beats all these guys." It's like, yeah, bro, but we're also not comparing apples to apples here. You know, like there's cars out there, that go out there. They have a jet fucking rocket, and they're pulling 6s, 7s. Well, a jet rocket, whatever, is not an engine. So it's like we're in different, fields. You know what I'm saying? So it is kind of hard to compare because people want to compare it right away. But it's like, well, it's impressive, man. But at the same time, like we're not doing the same thing. We're getting down the track, but that is not that. So we can't compare it, man.
So you're a speed guy for your car, or are you more of a just about a nice car?
It depends what it is. I mean, I can appreciate any car.
Yeah.
From lowriders to just like an original car, because again, because we go to the shop, we put in the sweat, we put in the tears, the blood. You put it all in, right? The lowriders, they do a lot of engraving, like they do a lot of stuff. Yeah. I'm a speed guy, bro. Like it's really hard for me to go to a dance and not dance. You know what I'm saying? So if I go to the races, I want to race. So like with one of my cars, I usually show it. So 2021, I showed it all year, and it was really, and a couple times because the judge will go and you put your like a little slip, and once they judge your car, they take the slip. So when I would see that the slip was off my car, I would go swap my tires, put on my race package on, and go to the track and try to get as many passes as I could. So like I love racing. You know what I'm saying? The guys around me do too. But I also can appreciate that old classic car sitting there, even if it's completely stock.
Do you have a dream car? Or the car that you have now, is that your dream car?
I own my dream cars already. So I mean, it is there's certain years I'm particular. I mean, like people, a Lamborghini, a Bugatti, whatever. And to me, it's like, it's not for me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me. Like the stuff that I have is what I like.
So what's the car that you own that's your dream car?
Well, again, I have a.
You got best of all three worlds right now, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I have some BMWs, some M3s, the first gen E30 M3s. I have a 70 Challenger RT. It's plum crazy purple, which I'm planning on Hellcat swapping it. So, and that's actually my race car.
You're gonna Hellcat swap that shit?
Yeah, bro. Because the engine that's in it now is a fairly stock engine. So again, like when you're thinking money, horsepower, like okay, I'm gonna have to dump this much in this thing to be at this horsepower. Yeah. But man, the stupid Hellcat already comes with it. And a lot of people do their LS swaps, like everything, from older pickups, which is cool because it's a new modern engine and it comes with power, it's reliable. And for me, it's like, I'm gonna go the Hellcat swap way, and it comes with 700 horsepower crank, right to start with. So that's the plan. I was trying to do it last winter. I ended up buying a house, and just things come up. This winter I was trying to do it, and one of my semis needed an engine, so I can't see myself getting Hellcat in my truck sitting.
Damn, you can, but it just.
It just priorities, I guess, man. But it'll happen, dude. Then I have the '93 Toyota Supra, and that's the car that I show. I mean, I think we've done the vlogs with Andrew before, and you missed out because you didn't go. But so I mean. At the end of the day, dude, like there's trailer queens, there's car, like, because everybody, they'll be like, dude, like you're racing that car, because they'll see it in the show and then they see it at the track. So that's what you want to see, man. Like, to me, like you don't want to see like, it's cool. You see the car, you walk around, like you go to SEMA, you see these immaculate things, but how do they perform? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and to me, I'm always been a performance guy, not necessarily drag racing. I like autocross, I like drifting, I like all of it. It tests you as a driver at the end of the day, like it's as a driver. A lot of the newer cars, they're automatic, ABS, traction control. I mean, you literally just push a button and go. That's another thing too, like about the electric cars, you start to like, man, like I got to put in all that work you know, and wrenching on it, actually the physical driving, RPMing, whatever, watching this, taking care, like checking my air pressure, my tires, all this freaking shit. And then this fucker beats me by, 3 seconds, bro. Like, no mames, So it's like.
Not even sweating and shit.
And really, like, I have more money in my Supra than that fool has in his car.
Yeah.
So then you start to think, like, who's the dummy now? You know what I mean?
Damn. But do you see yourself ever owning an electric car?
No.
Hey, shout out to you for having a business for a decade already, bro. Like, that's a really good thing, especially throughout this COVID thing. Like, people don't last that long no more. Unless it's, like, a few semi-drivers that I know. But then they start having families, so they don't want to do long hauls anymore. So, yeah.
I mean, it's all in, again, and I think I said in the past podcast, is, it's having your plus one, your partner is, like, you have to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Because if not, it will not work.
People don't understand that nowadays, though.
Well, sucks to be them. You know what I'm saying?
You hear me, Andrew?
What?
So where'd you go before the podcast? I'm just kidding. Cynthia, I'm sorry.
He was never late.
Nah, and it's just work ethic, man. At the end of the day, like, we all have the work ethic.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, to me, I just got to a point in my life where I was like, dude, like, I was taught to work very hard. Just a little bit about myself. My dad, I was born when he was 57. He was born in 1929. Okay, so I'm the youngest of 13. This was looking at it like that shit don't make sense.
No, I'm just saying, like,
before World War II, yeah.
Yes.
So I was
57.
raised 57 when I was born.
Jeez.
So I mean, obviously, my dad passed. He passed when I was 17, and to think that in those 17 years, man, my dad was able to, and my siblings too, was able to raise us a certain way, to be productive, to be responsible, to be providers. Obviously, he didn't raise us or teach us how to retire or build a 401k or build up whatever, invest, because that's not what was taught to him.
Yeah.
So, but hey, bro, like, what? They're gonna give us everything. We have to do something for ourselves too.
Yeah.
So, like, we were taught how to work hard, bro. You
got those morals.
Like, at 9 years old, I remember we were going to work the fields. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that he taught us very young. He didn't have to do that, but he did. And I remember he would tell us, hey, if you don't know how to do anything else, you know how to do this. And I remember even at that age, I was like, fuck this shit, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
back in the day, like, man.
I mean, but you did it, right? I mean, at those ages, it was like a game, bro. You know what I mean? It was like a game, like, because we're with the hoe, con el asadón. And why did you guys say like in sync?
Yes.
And Mighty Ducks was popular, bro. So we're fucking thinking we're playing hockey and shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that just, like, there's a difference when your neighbors, like, on a snow day, like, they're playing football over there. Like, hey, come play. And you're like, hey, bro, like, we got to feed the animals and we got to work, And, okay, later. Like, fuck, man. So we try to hurry up and so we can go play. Yeah. And so that's how we were raised. And, all my siblings, say what you want. They, whatever they are, fool, at the end of the day, they all work hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could be drunks, womanizers. It sounds like a good time, but it's not. Yes, it is. Nah, but I mean, they all work their asses off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And some have had businesses, and again, there comes that, like, because you know how to work, but you get to a certain point where it's like, I'm a diesel mechanic, so I could be the best diesel mechanic in the world, but that doesn't mean I'm a businessman, or I could be the best businessman in the world, but if that diesel mechanic ain't helping me, like, I can't do this. But you have to be the businessman as well. You have to play both parts. And I think if you can identify that quick in yourself, is like, hey, what am I good at? Yeah. Like, that doesn't mean you can't be a great asset for a company you work for. At the end of the day, it's like, people say, man, they suck here. They don't even say this or that. And it's like, what? Being on the other side now, as an employer side, it's like, bro, like, I do please and thank you, but I pay you guys well. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, like, do you really need that pat on the back? Mijo, ándale, mijo, come on.
Good job.
Do we, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, like, this is a trade. Yeah. Like, I'm paying you. Now, if I'm paying you shitty, well, that's on you. How long you want to be here, or what are you trying to get out of this? Because if you're in a position where you can learn, and get paid for it, even if it's not that great, then push it. You know what I'm saying? But to me, at the end of the day, it was like, you know what? I work my ass off no matter who I'm working for or what I'm doing. But I'm not doing it for this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made me look for more pay,
What's your business called?
My diesel repair business is AVS Diesel. And then we have a trucking company is AVS Transport. So that's my two companies. When I was in Phoenix, I opened up my shop. And the A is Antonio, the V is my wife, Veronica, last name Saenz. So to me, it means something to me when I see that name.
Yeah.
When I see that name, when
representation.
when I'm driving into our property and we have our sign up, you have to be proud of it. You see your trucks driving and you see the name on it. Like, you want to be proud of it and do as much as you can and remember that, hey man, like, this is what this is about.
That's us right there. Hell yeah. What's the most ridiculous name?
You know what? It was a CTM. And I was like, CTM? And I don't know. That's what it was abbreviated. He may have been bullshitting. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And he's like, chinga tu madre, trucking.
I didn't. Did you expect that?
No.
Me neither, bro. Me neither. Because his name was, his name. Who knows? Maybe it's his kid's name. Maybe he just said that to fuck with me. But like, when I heard that, I'm like, this fool's kidding, right? Like, he's fucking around, right? And I mean, nobody ever told me otherwise. He didn't say anything otherwise.
No, pues sí.
I thought you were gonna say something like cash then money or something, but damn, chinga tu madre, damn, bro.
No, I mean, and there's some out there, bro, that there's some out there that have references to, like, cartel empires or what the fuck ever, bro. And I'm just thinking, like, man, you guys really want to, not get stopped by cops? Well, that's the way to not do it, like, regardless of what it is, bro. I think that's been the one that takes it, man. I mean, there's been some silly ones, you know what I'm saying, but
that one's probably the worst,
Yeah. I mean, and it's abbreviated, right? CTM, whatever.
LLC.
And I'm just like, hey, what does that mean? Yeah, LLC. What does that mean? Oh, chinga tu madre. Like,
La tuya, Erika?
I was like, all right, cool, man. Like, well, and obviously he doesn't own his trucking company anymore. So it goes to show where things.
See what happens?
Yeah. I mean, you appreciate things,
Yeah.
Don't take your shit seriously. I mean.
And I do, man. I work for people for, since I was 18. So I was 27 when I opened my business. So let's say 9 years I worked for different companies. And sometimes you feel like, hey man, this, like, I'm good at this, but there's always a human being with whatever they have, that whether they want to see you succeed or not. And unfortunately is that I have a certain character about me, which now it's like, okay, I appreciate it because all that I went through obviously means this, you know what I mean? So let's say this supervisor didn't like me, because whatever, because he thinks I'm cocky. One thing I don't like is people who are arrogant. I don't like that. If you know who you are and you're solid about it, at the end of the day, it becomes a dick measuring contest where you're always like, and it's still like that today with anybody. So I really try not to play that game with people. So what's the dog's?
Max and my daughter Layla out here acting wild.
Acting wild. So let me ask you this, Sonia. Are you like, do you prefer text or you prefer like phone call? You probably prefer phone call because you're old school.
Excuse me, you better respect him, bro. Like, hey, what do you like?
I say that with respect. You seem like more like a person like you like to just like, you don't like to text, you just.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It does depend, right? Because I heard the way you think that, like, oh, why is this fool calling me? And try to text him. So I got you that shit.
Yeah.
It's because, like, bro, I'm not gonna fucking sit there for this amount of time to text your stupid ass. And I just try to get it over with really quick.
That's what I'm saying. Like shit like that, like where you need to know now, or it's like it's better to like fucking, hey bro, this is going on, cool. All right, boom, let's go. And I feel awkward, but I am also respectful. Like, hey bro, like, can I call you? Because I get it. Because sometimes like you can be busy, whatever. Like, hey bro, you got a minute? Yeah, what's up? Can I call you? Sure. All right. But sometimes it's like, depending on who I'm talking to, you know what I mean? Like, I can be talking to somebody more my style. It's like, I'm just going to call this fool real quick. I'm not going to. But plus, like, if I'm at work, I usually have my Bluetooth in. My hands are fucking dirty. So I'm not gonna stop working to fucking text. And usually I'm always working, whether I'm at work or not, because I have the trucks running. So it's like, I'm not going to fucking stop what I'm doing to text somebody, I mean, if it's early or late, like, this fool will see it tomorrow. Or this fool will see it when he wakes up. Yeah. I'm not going to call you at a certain time. So yeah, I do like the phone calls because we can get over it. Yeah.
But you know, what do you think? Or
No,
what's-
I like I'm the same way. If it's something that needs to be taken care of right then and there, but the thing about this will that pisses me off. I text him something and he calls me. I'm like, no, bro, I'm texting you. If I could call you, I'd call you. But if I'm texting you, I just want you to text me back. Or if I text you, call me when you're available. Like
I
you're saying.
texted you by mistake the
I
other
would
day.
text this for something like, hey, bro, like, like an idea or something, and he calls me. I'm like, bro, I just need.
Cause we
Yes
gotta
or no,
bounce
or-
voices off of each other, bro. We gotta get in there. You know what I'm saying?
We would, but I just wanted to get your idea on a text, and then I'll hit you up about it later, or we'll talk about it later. But
It's because if you don't have nothing to say about the idea, I want to hear the awkward silence. I don't want to text you a bunch of dots, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I texted him by mistake. What a bitch too. I texted him by mistake. Hold on, I don't even want to say what it said, but
Well, we want to know, right, guys? Yeah, go ahead. The public wants to hear. They
I
want
don't
to know.
remember what it said.
This fool texted me. It was funny because I was looking at it, so I thought my wife texted me. And
Oh,
'cause
this is getting interesting.
yeah, because I see a text and it said, hey babe, there was a accident on the freeway. Be careful, drive safe. I love you. So automatically, I'm like, Cynthia, and then I was looking, I was Choco,
You
and I was
sure
like,
it's Cynthia?
yeah, I was Choco, and I
Okay.
was like, I love you too, babe. I was like, I love you too. I made it home safe. I told her.
Oh, I'm home. I made it here safe. I was like, give a fuck.
I was like, I love you too, babe.
You're like, what the fuck?
Then this one calls me and he just, I was like, you knew I was coming, bitch. Like, watch you text, motherfucker.
Why do you gotta breathe all heavy like that?
oh
Like
That's
pun?
what-
man,
that's what he did. That's what he
I
did.
I did that, bro.
That's exactly what he did, bro.
Like the pun breath?
Hello?
Yeah, I was like, fucked up. I apologize.
I was like, you know what you did, motherfucker.
And he was like, I'm okay, bro. I love you too. I was like, don't say that.
I was like, I love you too, bro. It's cool. But I've done that so many times though. Like I've texted, like when you're texting like a bunch of people at one time,
Mhm.
and so sometimes you're just like boom, boom, texting, but then you send it to the wrong person. Like fuck,
That's why I can't be somebody else you just text, bro. I'm gonna call you.
I need to hear your voice and confirm it
Yeah.
is you.
You know, the thing is too is like you can't hear. I know there's emojis and all this other bullshit, but like, hey man, you read a text and you're like, the fuck you say, motherfucker?
You read it
know?
wrong, right? You might read it wrong.
Yeah, it depends on how you feel.
You interpret it, yeah.
And you're like,
That's
Like,
every
hey,
text message just
is
reminds
this what I'm saying? You know?
Every time I read it, it's like, this motherfucker's, he's talking down.
It's like, yeah, exactly, though. Like, and you call just to find out, like, hey, what's up, bro?
Are you good, motherfucker?
And they're like,
What
oh,
the
no,
fuck
hey,
do you
what's
mean?
up, bro? What's up? Like, okay, this what did it mean like that?
You know?
Have you seen that skit on Ski and Peele when they do that shit?
No.
They do that like he's texting, hey bro, come through. Okay, I'll see you. What motherfucker? He's like, okay,
Who are you gonna
come
see?
through then. Okay, I'll be there right now. What? And he's like, what the fuck? Come through then. And he gets all mad and shit. That's just funny though, but it's true. Like you're saying, it's one thing you can't. You might read it a certain way,
Yeah.
but they don't mean it that way, you know. But
And then, or maybe they do, and you didn't read it that way. So I mean, you know, you show up. It just like the texting. Obviously, man, it's a part of progress.
Mhm.
But I think when that's all you know, it's a little like my son, like and I'm sorry I reference this fool because
No,
he's
you're
like
good.
my ticket to fucking stupid youth. You know what I mean? And
Your friend road ticket.
he's my front like that. The big pun. There you go.
There you go.
And like he'll like through Snapchat, like he's texting, you know, girls or whatever, or and then he'll like do like a drag over, and he can read the message, but it won't show them that he saw it. And I was like, why are you doing that? He's like, oh, because you know that way they don't see that I saw the message. I'm like,
Yeah,
but
you
you
gotta-
did see the message. He's like, well, yeah, but you don't want them to know
You gotta
that.
play the system, bro.
And I'm like, but
shout
that-
out Ivan, bro. Hell yeah.
Man,
Shout out
man,
Ivan, bro.
I'm trying to teach him.
Sorry,
dog.
sorry,
Hey,
Ivan. No.
Keep playing, bro.
Sorry,
You-
Ivan.
Stop being a bad influence on my son's life. Hey, no,
Yeah, yeah.
nah. So you know, like I'm like, you know, I understand why they do that. Like I understand why they do that, but it's like,
Yeah.
guys, man, like that's the problem with this shit is that, like I tell him, bro, like you wanna, and it sucks because all the kids now, like they don't know how to sit down and look in a girl's eye. You know what I'm saying? Reach over and kick that smile off. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
wait.
You know, see those dimples and shit and joke and haha, see it
Yeah.
laugh and that was funny and you know, and maybe you know what I'm saying?
Ooh, ooh.
You know, and like
Piernas.
so we don't.
Las piernas.
Tócale, tócale las piernas, tócale.
Damn.
So you know, you get to a point where like society, fool, we don't even know how to fucking talk to each other. Like body language is a
Yeah.
language, dog.
Mm.
You know, and I tell this fool, hey, wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool, but you don't want to. He said, well, that's what everybody's doing. Well, do you want to be it like everybody?
But I mean, yeah, but it's funny because it's like now I feel like now it's just easier because like you're saying, you see you like what you see and then boom, it just. You
But I
focus on it,
mean,
that's it.
just because it's easier, I mean, is that who you want the mother of your kids to be?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I
Okay,
don't. I'm
so-
the same. I'm the same way. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is
I'm
like
with you on
now that's what people think is
Mhm.
easy. So
Mhm.
that's what is normal, right? Well, like I told my son, hey man, look at your mother. That's an example. You know, do you see this in her? Do you see her like that? And I get it, bro. Like he's not trying to, you know, marry whoever he sees,
Mhm.
but at least you know, you're trying to like, hey, fool, like,
Just be careful out there, man. Like shit. What's gonna be?
you know what I'm saying. I mean, so
Mm.
I try to, you know, tell him certain shit. You know,
I feel you, man. I know. what you
put him
mean,
on game. We're those old guys now.
Mm.
I feel like fucking Lawrence Fishburne on Boys in the Hood.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Now,
Okay.
that's how I feel now when I talk to this motherfucker.
You're just
you know?
out right there in front of a billboard, talking, bringing the whole crowd in and shit, talking about like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this. Talk to a girl. You gotta talk to a girl about the thighs right there.
The fucking la pierna.
The uy.
Tacos de pierna.
How you gonna end this year off, bro? Like, what are your plans for the holidays and then New Year's Eve and New Year's?
I'm sorry, bro. I'm boring when it comes to shit like that.
For real?
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, my grind is the same any day of the year, all
Yeah,
year.
That's the way.
you know?
That's the way it should. That's the way it should be,
So-
though. Just like next year, I'm gonna do like when I do it right now. When I do it today.
You know, when I was younger, I can remember when I was younger, bro. Like, yeah, it was always like special. Like,
Nah, I don't mean like partying wise.
I
Like,
know, but like even with the hustle, you know what I'm saying, with work and things like that, and it's just like, bro, I do this every day.
Yeah.
You know, I go to work every day. I try every day. You know what I'm saying? So this is just another day. You know, it sucks because sometimes like in the business I'm in or any business, like holidays sure fuck shit up. You know, when I was an employee, I was like, fuck yeah, I got 3 days off, or I got this, or I got paid vacation. Hell yeah, fuck you, work. I'm out.
Yeah.
But like now it's like, fuck, bro, we can't get parts, man. Like why? Oh, because of the holidays. Like fucking A, man. So I have this engine disassembled. I'm fucking waiting on parts. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I can't get another truck in because my shop's full. So it starts becoming like a headache. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that
nobody's working and shit, so you gotta wait.
Or even the semis, just like the trucks. They're like, okay, it falls on this day, this day, this day. Okay, well let's try to work during the week. We can get a load there, get the load back, try to get them home for the fucking holiday because they want to be home for holidays. I get it, bro. Like, you know, I've missed so many holidays. I've missed so many birthdays. I've missed my anniversaries. But again, I got somebody who supports me 100%. So I'm not missing him because I'm hanging out with, you know, or doing something I'm not supposed to. It's like we're working, bro. You know, we're trying to get to that next level. And
So I mean, let me ask you this though, like for kind of end of the year, like what's the best thing that happened to you this year? What do you think? Like, what's the best thing you've probably for this year that you experienced?
well, it was a shitty year financially
Mhm.
because again, like I explained the diesel, you know, and but it was also a year that, you know, I had a lot of peace. You know, this year I really focused on slowing down and smelling the roses.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's what's important, man. You know, it doesn't matter because everything keeps going with or without you. It's like a river just keeps going, and you jumped off for a little bit, but that shit didn't wait for you.
Like you're just saying, the grind don't stop.
It doesn't stop, but that doesn't mean like it's gonna be there, bro. If you get hurt or if you're sick or if you're stressed or whatever, and you can't continue to do it, it's still gonna leave you. It's still going.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey man, you know, I get off when I want to get off. You know, I get on when I want to get on. And you know, maybe that's a luxury I'm living now after so many years of grinding, of working. And I don't recognize it. I've had people tell me like, hey, wait, like, eres bien matado para trabajar, and I'm like this is normal to me. This is the way I'm used to work. This is how the work ethic I have. Like when I'm at the dealers, this is it. So when they see it, they're like, oh crap. But it's like, bro, this is how I do it. But now I'm at a point in my life where it's like, hey, bro, I can slow down.
Yeah.
You know, like why go and then all of a sudden, you know, and it's just the point in the life I'm at. I'm not trying to discourage people to be like, hey, no, slow down, guys. Hey, man, you know, you can slow down whenever you feel you need to slow down. There's guys that are fucking crazy entrepreneurs and they're still going. But to me, I think like for my soul and for my family, it's like, hey, man, you know, and it's scripture, bro. It's like, what did you gain from winning the world or getting the world, but losing your soul in the process? You know, the things of this world, they're not of God, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be of this world, you're going towards something that it's like a formula that starts to calculate into like this is equals fucked up relationship at home, could equal stress, could equal a fucking heart attack, could equal, health issues, So to me, man, like, I don't do any drugs, bro. I don't smoke. I just feel that I don't need to resort to any of that, because I have a stable life.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, it's like, let's say only once in my life, bro, I showed up to a bar because I was just having a fucked up day. And I was drinking my beer, and, you look around, you're like, look at these fucking losers, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then you're like, as soon as I drink this fucking beer, I'm going to just pick up my fucking problems and take them home anyway. I may feel a little more relaxed, but in reality, the problem exists. So
yeah, it's a temporary fix.
Yeah, I'm not going to just take fucking a NyQuil and wake up. I mean, maybe it's going to help me sleep better, but in reality, if I'm fucked up, I'm going to wake up fucked up again. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hey, let's fix it before you get there. So this year really, I purchased a home, and
nice.
It just, I was holding off for a while because obviously the market, and then I had other ideas of what I wanted to do. But I was like, you know what, man? I found something that was very beneficial for me. It was a price that was okay for me, and we purchased it. And I just, it's so relaxing there, bro. Like, we're by the river. It's not even far. It's in Burbank, close to your brother-in-law's. Yeah. And it's like, bro, like, we have deer walking through the lawn. We have fucking, like, today there was 2 bald eagles flying around. Like, last winter they were there, and it's just like, that's my happy place, man.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly, like, one thing I've learned is like I love Phoenix so much, right? And a few years ago, I went down there to work. I tried to set up, a route for one of my trucks, and I worked there for a couple of weeks. And then, even though I went by myself and I was staying with a buddy, so even though I'm in a place that I love to be, I want to fucking be there so bad, and I'm there for 2 weeks, it didn't feel right because my family wasn't with me.
Yeah.
So wherever they're at, it could be an apartment, it could be wherever, but that's home for me.
Yeah.
And that's where my happy place is. So it's like this year I've been really, even though all this bullshit is going on, and sometimes I look at the numbers and I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to even stay in business. But, I'm like, you know what? I know that I have peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these gray hairs, bro, I got them in a matter of years. Like, a couple years, bro, in the businesses that I do. But I've learned to, like, you know what, man? Chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I think my biggest thing in this year has been, is just to learn how to just relax, man.
Enjoy yourself a little more.
And to enjoy it, and
hell yeah, man.
Enjoy your loved ones.
So that's more important, man. That's like you're saying, the grind doesn't stop, man. But I mean, just you yourself, just you only here for a limited amount of time, So, you're gonna work it all you have, but you can't even enjoy it. So shit, like.
Yeah, man. I mean, and what was yours this year?
The best thing that happened to me this year?
Yeah.
Honestly,
you got a Subaru.
It's cool to have that. The new joint.
The new?
He has to bring it up every episode. So
that's not true, bro. I didn't even say it last episode.
Oh, we said it this episode.
Hell yeah.
And just to fuck him, what are we gonna?
Well, it's because I was so happy because I came to you when I bought the Neon. Like, I remember I told you the day before. I was like, oh, dude, I'm just gonna save money. The next day I show up with the car. It's like, what happened, bro?
So, what would you say was the best thing that happened to you this year?
The best thing for me, just I've been working a lot and just been able to provide a little bit more than I ever have.
Yeah.
And
it's always a good feeling.
Just been enjoying myself and my family more this year.
Hell yeah.
And ignoring your ass.
That's mean.
That's not true. I call you all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
I call you to tell you, hey, call me later. And then you don't call me. It's very frustrating.
Wow.
Hell yeah. What about you?
No, same thing. Your guys' tip. I think I talked about last episode. Like, I found myself who I am as a person. Like I found out I'm just a private person. I just.
Caitlyn Jenner. Okay.
What?
You found out what a touch, no touch. Good.
That's why I can't talk seriously with these motherfuckers.
You didn't hear me?
Good touch, bad touch.
That's because you said you found yourself, and I was like, okay, Caitlyn Jenner.
Okay. Okay.
Hell yeah.
No, man, like I'm saying, I figured out, like, same thing. I like to hang out with people and shit, but if you ask me what I want to do, I'd rather just be home, just chilling, just by myself. I don't need to go out and drink. I don't need to fucking party and shit.
You do gotta add me on Call of Duty, bro. I've been asking you since the game fucking came out.
You haven't added him, bro?
No,
but
bro.
He added me.
I played during the day though.
How you gonna add him, bro?
Well, it's because you slack, bro. You suck.
Fuck you. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
good.
It's because you know why? Because I asked him for permission. I was like, hey, man, can I add your mom on the IG? And he's
I
like,
didn't.
Yeah, and that's why he
She just
respected me
popped up, and
eventually.
I was like,
She just popped up.
I know this lady. I know you.
I know this lady. Oh my God.
So, shout out Doña Maria, you know.
There was one thing that you were mentioning to me right now, Tony, was that so obviously I think we know that you're a boxing fan,
Mm-hmm.
but you're saying you're training kids out here?
Well, this summer I was training my son and a friend, and
Oh, okay. Actually, I do remember seeing I seen a clip of your
It's on my
Snapchat and
snaps.
shit. Yeah.
yeah, and it just schedule stuff like that. But there's some guys locally that they're starting up a gym, and
shit.
they asked me if I can help coach.
Oh yeah.
So that'd be pretty cool, man. So shout out to I think it's Glove Up Boxing
Are they already
or
open?
Glove Up Boxing Academy. They're gonna be open, I think, beginning of next month. So
Ooh, hit them up, man. Shit.
so yeah, they're gonna be in
Local boxing.
Richland. I think it's Glove Up Boxing Academy. So it's an academy. So it's kind of cool because shout out to Orlando, because like back in the day, dude, like academies, like those actually schools, just like you had a martial arts school.
Mhm.
So you can imagine like your Bruce Lee schools
Yeah.
where like there were schools, and boxing used to be that way too. And it just kind of started going to like little gyms or to gyms to little gyms, now to like maybe private stuff like the dad with the son or the dad, and which is all fine, bro. But like you've lost a lot of your foundation,
Mhm.
and so when these guys said they're trying to do an academy like that, I thought that was a cool thing because
There's nothing like around here, right? There's nothing like that around here.
no, there's boxing gyms around here. There's some better than others,
Mhm.
from what I've seen. Again, like when I was in Arizona, I went to many gyms,
Mm-hmm.
and you see different styles of the way that they train or whatever, man. And some of them is just open, you do your own thing. But like the ones up here, the few that I went to, they're really like more of like a class,
Mm-hmm.
like a Taibo class. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like it's an exercise, it's a boxing fitness. It's not necessarily the art, because it's a martial art too. It's an art.
Definitely.
So it's a very, very fast paced, chess game, which hurts. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if you're not prepared, you can get hurt really bad.
And it's crazy to me too, like when people always compare like, oh, this boxer will kick this MMA person's ass or vice versa, but they're two different styles, like
Yeah, you can't compare. I
Yeah, you
mean,
can't compare 'em.
you've had your your McGregor and Mayweather
Mhm.
stuff, which is at the end of the day, it's entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And did people get entertained? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was pissed, bro. I was pissed when Cormier fought James Toney. You seen that shit?
I didn't, bro. I mean, I know about it. I saw
I saw that
highlights.
shit. I was like, bro, let him swing on you. See if you could take that fucking, that hook.
But that's the thing, is that
But
James Toney came into that art.
He fucked up. Yeah.
I mean, hey, it just shows the type of person he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
He was willing to get in there.
again, like true boxers, bro. Like, there's very, very few MMA guys that can really bang like that.
Honestly,
Because
I really don't think any of that can, because that's what they strictly focus on. Is
correct.
Like,
And again, you can't have a boxer in it, because MMA,
Mhm.
like, just your fight stance alone cannot be like a boxer stance, because
Mhm.
you're expecting knees, kicks, elbows, a takedown.
takedowns.
So you
and-
can't stand that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, you see some good, strikes going on, but they're still not as clean as a boxing,
Mhm.
but because it's not that art, it's a different art.
Yeah.
You'll watch let's say a karate or taekwondo tournament, very different the way that they stand and they move as MMA. Or you can watch just a gi no gi jiu-jitsu tournament. Oh, they're not doing shit, you know what I mean? Like, because they would get kneed in the face, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is very different. So for people, again, face value, entertainment, like, oh, okay, cool, oh, this guy got knocked out or whatever, like, they're just looking at the high points. So if you're somebody who really likes a sport, you're gonna know stats, you're gonna know, like,
So
I mean,
what's the goal for the academy?
they want to take in because around here apparently there isn't many academies at all. I
Mhm.
mean, really, there isn't many. Like, you can go to Mexico, like to like the FA, like where they still have like schools, and the trainer has to be, because like back in the day they used to, like, you had to apprentice under a head coach for like 4 years before you could be a coach, before you can be considered a coach. Like, no pay, no nothing, bro. You needed to know how to hand wrap. You needed to know certain things, and I mean, because at the end of the day, why not? Because these guys, they're going in, they're not kicking a soccer ball, bro. Yeah. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen in soccer? Getting kicked in the face, with the cleat. That's pretty fucked up. But I mean, you're not looking for someone to kick you in the face. It happens, But it's like over here, it's like, yeah, you're gonna get punched, fool. And you can get, you can die. Many fighters have died, had brain injuries, And so for me, I look at it like,
One more question for you.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite boxer of all time? Someone that you've actually seen, because mine is Diego Corrales.
what do you mean I've actually seen?
Like, followed his
Grew
career.
up with and shit.
Okay.
Not seen in real life, because we could never leave the house.
Boxer grew up
We
with.
can't leave
I mean,
the house.
there's so many fucking amazing boxers, bro.
Mhm.
But, and I mean, stylistic wise, like counter punchers, like dudes who are just like, I mean, but for me, my style, aggression, Mike Tyson.
Oof. I mean,
Just because he was just so fucking dominant, bro. You know?
Yeah, he's a beast.
I mean, but there's your Roberto Durans, your Haglers, your Hearns. You know, like the 90s, you have so many. I mean, even Vargas, De La Hoya, like, you know, even Mayweather, bro. Like, these guys are fucking. But just because something I enjoy watching.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I can watch fucking Tyson highlights anytime
All
I'm
day.
scrolling through whatever.
Bro, these heavyweights ain't the same, though, like before.
They're not. They're not. But,
They seem so much slower than the ones from before.
well, I mean,
Like, they're lanky, they're tall, yeah, whatever, but, bro, you're throwing those punches, it looks like it's in slow motion.
my boy, the Gypsy King. No.
Something like that, you know.
yeah, but Gypsy King, too, that fool's really, really good.
He is, but still, it's
That was a
like
heavy
they
movement, that
just
fucking-
look like they're just. It don't seem quick like it was back then, you know.
Well, because back then, bro, like your average, you know, heavyweight fighter was 220, 230
they
pounds,
move
you know,
lean.
and these guys were maybe 6'4", but fucking six pack,
Yeah.
you know. So, you know, now we have guys who are big, no six pack, 200, you know, 260 pounds, you know, but then they're even getting bigger and bigger. So like even Tyson Fury, I think 6'9",
Mm-hmm.
you know, like,
That's
but he can
Fucker's
move,
tough
like
as
he can
fuck,
function,
bro.
like.
Yeah, that would be dodging the hit. The
I
punches.
see. That's just not that. It doesn't look that fast, but it looks dope.
Oh, it's fast.
Well, I mean, it's their speed, and that's why they're heavyweights, bro. You don't have, you know,
Yeah.
and you start to get away from technique.
Mm-hmm.
The heavier you get, you know, like the little guys, let's say 120 pounder because like they don't have, not that they don't have the power, because there's plenty of guys that have the power to just crack and knock people out, but those guys are throwing, you know, 1,300 punches a fight. You know what I'm saying? So they're so fast, so they have to be just punches and bunches. You know what I'm saying? Like volume.
I used to get them points up.
But then there's also like maybe a less risk to get knocked out. So those guys to me are the ones who take more damage because they're just taking punch after punch for
Mm-hmm.
rounds and rounds
Who's
and
your
rounds.
favorite new boxer, or not new boxer, just current?
Upcoming.
Yeah.
Well, upcoming or like who's a big deal right now?
Who's your favorite boxer to watch right now?
And I know a lot of people aren't gonna like it, man, but to watch, dude, Tank Davis is fucking awesome. It's exciting.
Hell yeah.
Like to me, if like pound for pound, bro, and I know people can have their opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but fucking Terrence Crawford is on another level when it comes to boxing IQ.
Yeah.
You know, I know he just fought, he knocked out this dude. And it sucks because, you know, we see a fight, we just want to be entertained, right?
Yeah.
But we don't see the politics and the money and the deals and the fucking stupid shit where they wait. No, let him wait a few more years. He's gonna get older, and you know, which happens all the time in boxing. So, they always use those tactics. There was an age where, but then the guys get paid so much, so it's like promotion. It's just that's the money side of shit that damn near ruins boxing for me.
Yeah.
But that's why, like, I'm glad that this dude, you know, is gonna give me this opportunity to coach
That's dope.
because. Like that love I have for boxing, bro. Like it's almost like, remember that song Common made about hip hop?
Oh, what's that shit?
And when he kind of got into beef with Ice Cube and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
You know, so it's like
That
you
I
love
Love
it, huh?
That I Love Her, right?
Is that what it is?
Or is it called hip hop?
Or I used to love her. I think.
Something like that, yeah.
And it's like that's what this has become. And it's like, so I don't want to lose the love for it because I fucking love it. But it's just like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? Like I don't get it. But like maybe on this level, it'll help me because my son, you know, I want to train him. He has really good, you know, attributes for boxing. Like the kid's fucking like 6'1". He weighs 128 right now. So the dude's like, you know, a very large frame for his weight, and he's gonna be very successful, you know, because he's so tall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he'll be fighting guys who are 5'5" to 5'8" max, and they're not gonna have. He has a 71-inch reach, so it's like the kid can go very far if he's brought up correctly. You know,
Yeah.
and but I just want to find that love for it again, bro. Like, you know, and just not again, but like put it into this.
I was gonna say, put
You know, like just send the focus of it, because it is time after time, bro. Like, you know, like Benavides right now. I like them. I've known them for a long time, and I met him when he was 16 in the Benavides boxing gym in Phoenix. His dad, his brother, I used to train at that gym. And these guys, like, to see him when they started, they started their pro career in Mexico, and to be where they're at today, it's like, fuck yeah, you know, that's freaking cool. Actually, Jose Benavides Jr., like, he hung out with us the last time we were in, because he's a car guy too. So he was out there taking pictures with the cars, and he went to the racetrack with us. So he's a cool dude too, man. Nah, man, just appreciate you guys inviting me, man. I really, again, I see what you guys doing. I enjoy it, man. You know, I enjoy it because I do listen to a lot of podcasts at work. I just put my shit in and I work, and so like I actually know these guys. You know what I mean? And like, if they're funny, you know what I'm saying? They invite me on and shit, and it's like, and then you see the other people, you know. And again, the whole local business thing, I really think that's cool, because I think when we think of local businesses, or we think of businesses, we may think something big. Like, you may think something too big, you know, that's like, oh, fuck, well, you know, Elon Musk has this. Like, I'll never, you know what I mean? Like, so you put that goal way the fuck out there. It's like, you know, it's unreachable. But, like, when you start seeing local businesses, like, you know, like this Lifeline, or like said with this barbershop, you know, you start like, oh, crap, like, these people do exist. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, you see them. Like, but then not only that, it's like, well, what makes them different than me? Like, why can't I do it? You know, I was the youngest sibling, so like the one older than me was a year and a half older than me. So if I saw them doing something, like, if we're the same size, like, if you're doing it, I can do it. So again, like, to get to know people who are actually they've been doing it, they've figured it out, because it is a process, and to be able to like yeah, let me try it. You know, so get motivated by seeing others do something.
Like you're saying, it shows you, like, there are people out here that have they fucking start from the bottom. They have their own business and shit, you know, like you're saying, like yourself and everybody else. So that's what we want to do, man.
Well, hopefully this isn't the last time you come out here.
Nah, bro. Hey, I'll be on as a special guest. Always featured. If you guys don't have nobody, call me. I'll come on, man.
There you go. And then when we box them up too.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So.
You said you wanted to box him?
Both of you.
Oh, okay.
At the same time.
But I wear all the sparring equipment though. I'll have to, like, the chest thing and the spar, but you guys can't wear anything.
That's fine.
Yeah. No, man, we'll appreciate you, bro, being on the podcast. For sure, like we said, man, we'll have you back on here, man. This is the last time. You already know. So
cool. Thank you, guys.
Fucking episode 6. Shout out Tony. Shout out.
Thank you for having me on.
What's the boxing place called again?
It's a Glove Up Boxing Academy.
Glove Up Boxing Academy. Watch out for that shit. We're gonna be there when it opens up.
And shout out ABS, right?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out
ABS Diesel. If anybody needs their trucks fixed,
hell yeah, hit 'em up,
for sure. You guys can find me.
Hell yeah, bro. Life from Trap Podcast, episode 6. We out.
You know.